Home Alone is back, you filthy animals. That's literally the lead sentence in the Variety article I have sourced down below in the description. Oh boy, I mean, when I first heard of this news, I felt as though that gangster from Angels with Filthy Souls was telling me that, because I do not have a good feeling about this new Home Alone movie. Let's get into this. So hey everybody, Blood Moon Bobby here, and yes, there's gonna be a Home Alone 6! Why does this franchise need 6 movies? I mean, I think you already know the answers to that. But anyway, Disney Plus announced a revival of the Home Alone franchise. Guess what it's called? Home Sweet Home Alone! The title already is not giving me much confidence. It's coming out on Disney Plus on November 12th, and cast members include Ellie Kemper, Rob Delaney, Kenan Thompson, and Jojo Rabbit's Archie Yates. Deadline said that the new film is about a mischievous and resourceful character named Max Mercer, who's left behind while his family is in Japan for the holidays, and he has to defend his home from this couple looking for this priceless heirloom. So, before I get into bashing the idea of yet another Home Alone movie, I want to talk about the Home Alone movies that I do like, the two that I grew up with, the first Home Alone as well as Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. I still really like those movies to this day. Like, I honestly like the first two films just as much as I did when I was a little kid. I remember I reviewed the first Home Alone last holiday season, and I was talking about those movies with my friend Gabby in our recent Owl House stream, and as Gabby said, they're still really funny movies because of just how outlandish, like, many of the traps that the burglars in the first two films, the Wet Bandits, get into. I mean, it's just, really insane with things like wrenches falling on the character Harry's head, or the character Marv getting electrocuted, or stepping on that really scary nail, or in the second film when Marv gets hit with a brick 4 times. I mean, it's interesting how, like, they're still really funny movies to this day. And I also find it interesting how these days, like, a lot of people point out, it's funny how, like, when we were all little kids watching Home Alone, we saw them as funny movies, but as an adult, we're like, how did Kevin not kill the Wet Bandits with how vicious a lot of those traps are? Because, yeah, I imagine if you just threw a brick, like, at a person once from, like, a 3 or 4 story building, it would probably kill him instantly. So yeah, it's amazing how outlandish they are, but they're also, like, very heartfelt films. I especially really like the more, like, heartfelt moments in the first film, like when Kevin goes to that church and has that really great conversation with old man Marley, where he tells Kevin that even if you're frustrated and think you hate your families, deep down you love them. Like, I found it to be really genuine. As I get older, I find myself really sympathizing with the old man Marley scenes, especially at the end of the film when we find out he's not a really scary person after all and things like that. But I go on. I could talk about the first two movies, like, probably so much that I could probably fill 2 more videos. I haven't heard too many good things about Home Alone 3, 4, and 5. I'm honestly kind of stunned that they made it to 5. I mean, just growing up, never got to see them, especially since, I come from, like, a family where they're, like, really strict on, like, how good a movie is, so I never got to see the sequels. I think I did see the 4th one back when it first came out on ABC, because I remember seeing that scene where Marv and his wife get, like, spun around by that wall, and the ending scene when Kevin activates the snow, but I barely remember that, and from what people tell me, it's also not a very good sequel. And yeah, I honestly don't have much faith in a Home Alone 6, mainly because, like, I have no idea what they could really do to, make this a really good movie, because I feel like much of the, like, good stuff in Home Alone was enough to really only fill out 2 movies. Like, this isn't like a franchise, like, say, like Harry Potter or something like that, where it's like, okay, I could understand why they need like multiple movies in order to fill out this, really gigantic ongoing story, where it's like, no, like Home Alone is not like one of those like continuity driven movies that would require a ton of sequels. You're basically like going in to see like this character take down some robbers with some really outlandish traps, and you get some heartfelt scenes as well as the holiday season. So I'm honestly really not sure what they could do with a sixth one. I mean, like I've seen some of the things that they do. Like I've seen clips of like, especially Home Alone's 3 and 4, a little bit of 5, and they just seem to like, go from enjoyably like outlandish and crazy to just being way too over the top. Like I looked at clips from the 4th movie, and French Sword especially, like I think he's way overacting playing Marv, whereas I much preferred how the acting was in the first 2 films, where many of the characters, like they were still like in character, but they didn't go to that point where it feels like they're winking at the camera, like kind of hinting at how stupid everything is and things like that. Like I preferred the sort of, I guess you could say, much less like over the top nature of the first 2 films, which is really saying something. But yeah, I still find the first 2 films to be really enjoyable, and I'm not really sure what they could do with a future Home Alone movie. It just kind of feels like when Disney picked up Fox, they were like, yeah, I mean, it still brings back, nostalgia, for a lot of people. So like, let's make another Home Alone movie, but it just kind of feels like they're making this as a way in order to fill out content with Disney Plus. I notice when it comes to nostalgia, streaming services often go the route where they come up with some kind of revival, like what Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon did with the new Rugrats series, or the studios come up with like a whole treasure chest of content, like what's been going on with Avatar Studios. Or I'll have a link below to what's going on with South Park, where they're going to be coming out with all these movies that'll be put on Paramount Plus that's based on South Park. So, that's all cool, but I'm really not sure what they could do with a Home Alone 6. I mean, it's probably just going to be another like over the top mess, like from what I hear about Home Alone's 3, 4, and 5. I feel like the one saving grace they could do is maybe have like a cameo with Macaulay Culkin, like maybe like have like a very brief scene where we get to see like an adult Kevin, or him playing some kind of adult that's hinted at being like really mischievous, or maybe, yeah, I mean, this won't happen, but it'd be kind of funny if it's like he actually like helps out this new character, Max Mercer, in this movie. But that's just me being a fanatic of the first 2 films. But I don't know, I still kind of think it would be cool if they could have like Macaulay Culkin cameo in like a Home Alone 6 or something like that. I guess the other thing I would say is that if I were to check out this movie, it would be the first time I get to review a Home Alone movie without all the without, being told again and again and again how much the last 3 sequels sucked and things like that. Because I have a feeling if I watch 3, 4, and 5, I probably get a very similar reaction to much of the internet, where I just think that they sucked and they're not as good as the first 2 films. Especially since the first 2 films, like, they're one of the few movies that I can think of where I enjoy them just as much I did as a kid as a 25-year-old person today. So I'm not really sure what they could do with a 6th Home Alone movie to make it better. It's probably just going to be super over the top and things like that. But let me know your thoughts down below. How do you personally feel about Home Sweet Home Alone? Yeah, that title is not sitting well with me. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.